everyone, and welcome to another episode of Annie Talks, where we bring to you interesting stories about interesting people that you want to know about. I'm your host, Annie Rivera. Thank you for tuning in, and to those who have already subscribed. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you hear. And if so, I personally invite you to subscribe. Annie Talks is brought to you by Luxwear Trends, affordable, luxurious timepieces for every occasion. Luxury that lasts forever, and that's what sets us apart from others. Find us on Facebook and Instagram or visit luxweartrends.com. That's Luxe weartrends.com. Some of you know that I have a YouTube channel, and I will have all that information down in the show notes for you, so please be sure to check that out at your leisure. But about a year ago, I interviewed a very special friend of mine, Mel Algoso, who is a Zumba instructor and a life coach. I met Mel about 2 years ago while taking one of her Zumba classes at a local 24-hour fitness. I absolutely fell in love with her Zumba class and her dance style. She incorporates many dance moves from the 80s and 90s, which is very nostalgic to me, and it doesn't feel like working out. Her class transports you back into time, rekindling fond old school memories, and it makes exercising very fun. You'll now hear an interview I had with her a year ago where she talks about her background as a professional dancer, thoughts on fitness and teaching, as well as her inspirational message of empowerment. Here now is my conversation with Mel Algoso. I want to introduce you today to my fabulous friend, Melissa Mel Algoso. She is a fitness and Zumba instructor and life coach extraordinaire. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, thank you for visiting. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. And we always love to see you. I met Mel over a year ago, and ever since then, right, ever since about a year ago, we've hit it off quite well. And I just love her to death. And taking a lot of her Zumba classes, maybe not as many as I probably should. I want her to be here so that she can talk to you today about what she offers and just really everything about her, because I absolutely love her. So let's, without further ado, talk to Mel. Hi, Mel.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk to everybody about is really do you remember how we first met?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was subbing a class, and there's Annie right in front, but very quiet and very well versed in dance. But then after class is when she approached me, and we got to talking. It was just instantaneous friendship. And the next thing you know, instead of just saying hello and bye and then maybe meet up later on, we just decided we're going to have dinner together.
Yay! I know
that's how instantaneous our friendship was.
Okay, so let's tell everybody what is it that you do. You are a Zumba instructor, fitness and wellness instructor, and a life coach. Why don't you talk about that?
Right, I know, a full plate there. Started in the business of dance, actually. I was a professionally trained dancer, but yet, I incorporated a little bit more of my street dancing and taught some type of, from ballet to jazz and everything, and then took out a long hiatus and then ended up owning a curse, a club. And then from there, really took my training in a different level as a fitness instructor. And soon after that, Zumba came around as a trend, but it seems like it's taken off so seriously, and it's a great way of exposing myself to what I'm already good at as a trained dancer into a more fitness. So the combination is really great, and it helped a lot of, men and women that's been in my class. I've been teaching for almost 6 years, doing a Zumba, but at the same time, I also have run my own a studio, and I actually train a more fitness level where we do a lot of more body combat. And I'm talking about men and women, mostly women, 40 onward, that are really doing a lot of things that they would never, ever consider doing. So it has really grown, and most of my students they've been with me for nearly the 6 years I've been doing this.
This was why I think I was so immediately
magnetized to her was because of her personality and the way in which she teaches and the way in which she engages all of her students. What other classes do you teach besides Zumba and...
I have used Zumba as a format to the kind of fitness that I'm doing. Zumba has a lot of formats that gives you a cross-training ability. So you're not just dancing. You're not just doing cardio where you burn a lot of calories doing Zumba. But what I've done is I've done toning. I've done the Sentao, what they call, which is a chair, and you do a lot of that kind of workout. Using the chair, using your abs, using your arms. And I have done, we're doing right now the steps, the step Zumba. So you're doing everything fun, but you're getting the workout from your lower part of your body or your upper part of your body. And then just recently I incorporated the newest format that Zumba has put out there, which is Strong by Zumba. And it's like a body combat kind of a mixture of many. So it's challenging and it builds up your strength.
Okay, so why don't you tell us all, what do you love about teaching?
I love teaching because I give back so much. And I love the fact that people get to learn about themselves and connect into their own body and knowing that they can do something like this. And it shows the glow in their face knowing that I'm doing something that I never thought I would do in my life. And they see that they can actually put one foot forward and the other and be able to coordinate that with music.
Let's talk a little bit about what a life coach is. For me, because I've never really heard that term and I remember hearing it for the first time with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit what that is?
Oh, I'd love to. I've been a life coach now for maybe about 2.5, 3 years now. I think it's going to 3 years now. And I really geared it to women. And what life coach is all about is really just somebody like me, a person that's been certified and licensed enough to go into actually guiding and encouraging individuals, the clients, in their work in their career, if that's the area that they're needing to help, or personal challenges. I really stay on giving them just to get back on track, to be able to get themselves back into who they are and what they are. I guide them and I encourage them, and I do all that in order for them to feel good about themselves, feeling that confidence that they need back again.
Here's a very serious question for me, for women out there, for others who are maybe struggling with identity or empowerment. How do you empower women?
I really love this question. Empowering women is to really know and to understand who they are. What are they made of? Okay, that's so important. You don't want to lose your identity. And in this tough world that we live in, it's really challenging for many women to get lost in relationships where they feel like they've become a second banana, that they can't speak up their minds. And not that you have to be, outmaneuvering somebody in any way, verbal or, whatever. But in more or less, to be able to understand what they're made of, what makes them tick, what is their strength. You have to play that up. In order to really find who you are, you have to really look within. And what are you your strong assets that you can bring into the table, whatever it could be, career or in the personal level with, working with your children, your husband, or, who your partner. So to me, that is such a strong thing that I want to guide them to be able to understand what they're made of. And from there, we work together slowly into understanding, in areas that they really need to work on.
Okay, so we talked about life coach. We talked about empowering yourself. Let's talk about what your goals are for yourself next year.
Of course. Yes. My goals are really to expand more in my life coach, because it's something I feel like I was born to do. And I think dance has been kind of that sort of a segue and, from there. What I want to do in the next year is really be in front of more women in a workshop and really get them to understand what's the next tools that they need to do in order to get to the next step of what their goals can be. And it could be in any kind of areas. And so I want to be able to get small groups of women and help them out from that standpoint. And we'll select whatever topics that may be, whether it be in relationships or in their career goals, or, in the relationship, it comes to either, the adult relationship or the children, because that could be a challenge for many women who are parents, themselves and those things. But so I want to see myself more, and I will. I plan on doing this, where I do workshops, and I think I might see you out there.
Okay, and last but not least, certainly not least, we'd love to hear from you. What message can you give people our age today?
Okay. More or less, you have to really tap into who you are. And that's so important, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know where to begin. And so you kind of hit the walls back and forth, not knowing, you're going to bounce off into people and telling you what you're good at, or etc. But you never really look within. And so one of the things I really find so important in women mostly is that they don't take the time to spend a little bit more with themselves and just really finding who they are, and taking even a small corner of an hour or less just to find out what they're really made of. Write down in a journal or something. And that's how we start from within. And from that within, you can then expand from there. And so that's the way I feel that, the things that a lot of women our age, are now just discovering. And I think it has to do with a lot of, finding their identity. All of a sudden, they're losing it, and they don't know, because they've been, a wife, a mother, and next thing you know, okay, now the kids are growing up. What can I do? And that's what you need to do, is pull yourself within, find out what you're made of, and then take off from there.
All great advices. Wonderful. Thank you, Mel, for being here.
Welcome.
I'm so happy that I've met her. And if you haven't ever taken any of her classes, she teaches at quite a few fitness or gyms around locally. I won't say where, but you can actually follow you. Yes, you can follow. I'll put the link down in my description. You'll have her Facebook link, and you can follow her. You can find out where her life coach page, and you can follow her and see where she's teaching at. And once you friend her page or her site or her profile, she updates you and will tell you where you're going to be. So she actually tags me in almost all her classes, and I truly wish I could go to all of them, but I just can't all the time. But I'll put her information down in my description, so you be sure and follow her. She's a wonderful friend. Melissa, thank you.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
See you again.
Nice to see you too.
Take care. Mwah.
Thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do so. The link will be right here. And don't forget to click the little bell so you'll get notifications every time we get a video uploaded. And be sure to check out Melissa's pages that I will list down below. Thank you again. We love you, and we hope to see you soon.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Well, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Annie Talks and learning about my friend, Zumba instructor and life coach, Mel Algoso. I truly love her inspirational message of empowerment. I will have her social media link in the show notes below, so be sure to check them out. And before we sign off, if you aren't already subscribed to my podcast channel, I invite you to hit subscribe and be notified anytime we upload a new episode. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you could just please rate and review my podcast, please leave a comment or two. It would really help me out, and it would also help others to find this podcast. And lastly, if you like this podcast, please consider contributing to my Patreon page. Your contributions will help to further the vision and mission of Annie Talks so that we could produce more episodes like this one and many other types of episodes and topics. The Patreon page will also be included in the show notes below. Thank you all again for tuning in, and please keep listening to Annie Talks.